Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. Open lines, live ITC Spiritbox Night. Yes, didn't have a guest for this Sunday. Almost didn't have a guest for next Sunday, but I do. And I want to make sure I had a show because in a few weeks I'm on my way to Florida with the family, and we will be gone for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try to get as much show as possible out there every Sunday until then. And I thought, you know what? Let's do an open lines ITC night. Maybe psychic games. And it's also, I'm glad I don't have a guest tonight because I have a pinched sciatic nerve. So we might only do 2 hours tonight because, man, as much as I love this chair my wife bought me, it doesn't matter when you have sciatic pain. It doesn't matter how comfortable the chair is. It sucks. It sucks. But I just don't want to miss doing a show. There's a lot going on. I know there's a lot probably on your minds, you know, World War III. No, I'm joking. I mean, yeah, probably. That's what everybody's talking about, right? All of our attention's on Ukraine. I want to talk about the stories out there tonight, and that's what we do, the World Wide Web of Weird as well tonight. The stuff we're not paying attention to, the weirdness, what's going on. There's always stuff happening besides the big narrative mainline news we're all paying attention to right now. You got to look for the interesting stuff that's going on that nobody's noticing, right? That's what we try to do here on the show. And of course, if you've never seen a live ITC night, what it is instrumental trans communication, Spiritbox Night. We got apps we're going to run, and different, it's generated audio, and we believe, I think that we've shown a lot of evidence of it, the spirits manipulate it and communicate with you. You call into the show, and a good idea is to know who you kind of want to talk to. What's your intent, your purpose? Call out to them tonight before you get on the show. Say, hey, I'm calling into this show. I want you to come through on one of their devices and speak to me. I'm telling you, the spirits are around us all the time, and they listen. Let them know you're going to call in tonight. Tell them, have an intent. Don't just randomly call in. And I want you to call in, but I want you to have an intent. Think about it. I get the best results when those people do, when they call in. And then a few weeks later, we'll start getting the videos up. You'll see responses, and I do my best to review them, edit them. It takes me time, but we'll get them up. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the weirdness. This is where the paranormal happens live. Live open lines ITC night. So let's go ahead and get into the show. Welcome to another night of Paranormal Soup. As I said before, I'm your host, Jason Bland. Tonight is live open lines, live ITC Spiritbox Night. You call in, see if the spirits will talk to you. Of course, we do our news segment first. You know, we're going to get to that here soon. So don't try calling in yet. It'll be after the commercial break. After that, that's when the lines will be open. You can call in, see if the spirits want to talk to you. Like I said, have a spirit in mind. That's the key to this. And we'll see what we get tonight, you know. And maybe live psychic games, all that goodness. But my beautiful co-host is here with me, Jamie D. How you doing tonight, Jamie? I know you've had better nights.
I'm happy to be here for ITC night, though. I won't be able to chat
I know you are.
much.
I know you wouldn't miss it. Yeah, Jamie's computer sounds like a Model T Ford.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a hard time
computer.
getting to YouTube and everything, but I'm going to do the best I can.
Usually Jamie and Rob Autry himself from St. Augustine, Florida here. How you doing tonight, Rob? They moderate my chat rooms and communicate with you guys better than I do because I am. It's hard for me to run the show. I communicate with you guys. So Rob here, Jamie, they both do that. Jamie, not so much tonight, and that's fine. I just want her here for the ITC in her ear. I'm hearing like waves in the background.
Waves?
Yeah, let me turn the music down. Let me turn the music off. Maybe it's just my own air. I don't know. I was hearing waves. I'm like, it's really relaxing, but I don't want waves in my show. This is night. This is gonna be a weird night, guys. I'm not myself when I got sciatic pain. By the way, I'm just like sitting. I'm like trying to sit up straight like the whole time because if I sit back, it's like oh, yeah. But call in tonight. But we got a lot of weird to get to on our World Wide Web weird. I know it's weird. I don't have that music at the beginning, right? It throws everything off. But let's go ahead and roll into the World Wide Web of weird. Cue some kind of music, right?
Cue the waves.
Cue the waves. I was hearing waves. I don't know. Relax, Jason. Relax.
Hut by the water.
Tonight on the World Wide Web of Weird, I thought I'd start with this article I've been seeing going around quite a bit. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Definitely interesting. It's about, you know, kind of what happens when you die with your brain. It's called From Unexplained Mysteries. And, of course, they're covering this from another, I think, science.org. Brain scan captures last thoughts of person as they died. And no, they didn't, like, ask somebody who's dying, can we look at your brain while you die? No, this was actually just a unfortunate circumstance that happened that actually provided real data. For those listening on the Paranormal Soup radio network, we are there's the waves. I'm getting I don't know where'd that come from. I was hearing the waves again. Maybe it's me wanting to go to Florida. Now they're gone. Yeah. It's gone now. Maybe it's me wanting to go to Florida. I don't know, but Gary heard it and I heard it. You didn't hear it, Jamie?
I didn't hear it.
Nope.
Yeah, just waves. It's really weird. I'm coming, Florida. A few more weeks. Don't mess with me. All right, let's get to the article, man. We are really off our game tonight. Or I am, at least. The groundbreaking... Blah, 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 blah. See? Really off my game. This is what happens when you're sitting here going... Oh,
mental blips.
The groundbreaking study, researchers record the brain activity of a patient dying of a heart attack. University of Tartu, if I say this, neuroscientist Raul Vicente and colleagues had been using an electroencephalography, EEG, I always butchered that, I butchered that so badly, device to capture the brain activity of 87-year-old epilepsy sufferer when the patient unexpectedly had a heart attack and died in the middle of the study. I mean, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. As a result, the EEG captured 900 seconds of their brain activity as they died, providing researchers unique glimpses of what goes on in the brain at the time of death. The findings indicated that during the last few moments of life, there was an increase in gamma oscillations indicative of dreaming or memory retrieval, as well as delta, theta, alpha, and beta oscillations. Given that the cross-coupling between alpha and gamma activities involved in cognitive processes and memory recall in healthy subjects, it's intriguing to speculate that such activity could support a last recall of life that may take place in the near-death state. And I'm hearing the waves. it's fuzzing. I don't know where from. It's going to drive me nuts. It went away. It's like coming and going. Spirits, if you're wanting to talk, hold on. This may take place near death, near the death state, the researchers wrote. While the findings are far from conclusive, they do paint a potentially positive picture of a person's last moments. Something we may learn from this research is although our loved ones have their eyes closed and are ready to leave us to rest, their brains may be replaying some of the nicest moments they experienced in their lives, said the study co-author Ajmal Zamir. Who's to say they're nice memories? You know what it made me think of is when I was a kid, I was a weird kid. Most kids would not have watched this movie and thought of it as one of their favorite movies. I mean, I had a lot of favorite movies, but most kids probably in the 80s were like, I didn't like that movie. I didn't watch that movie. It was a Christopher Walken movie, more cowboy. Brain Scan. Anybody see that? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? And in that movie, they have this device. Yeah, see, I'm a movie buff. They have this device that's like it's kind of like a virtual reality in a sense, but it's not. It's brain. Like they literally take people's memories, record them, and put the helmet on somebody, and they can literally physically feel those memories and see those memories. Like they get the full feel of it. And one of the researchers ends up having a heart attack because they show her like the foreshadowing. She's always chain smoking. She's always got a cup of coffee. She's always drinking heavily. Like, wonder if she's gonna have a heart attack. Watch the movie, you'll see. Spoiler. Sorry, 1980s. And she has a heart attack. She puts the helmet on to record it, and then it has they have this recording of her death. And what is it? When Christopher Walken finally puts it on, it's basically seeing all his life flashing before his eyes, all his past.
Yep.
Movie was ahead of its time. I think it was the last movie. What's her name? Actress. She died. Christopher Walken was there on the boat. I can't think of her name. And that's a mystery. That's a mystery. What's the actress's name? My mom knows.
In that too?
Whom?
No, I'm thinking of a different.
Yeah, no. I can't think of the actress' name. Famous actress died on a boating accident. Another famous actor was her husband. Totally slipping my mind. My mom, if you're in the chat room, the brain scan, Christopher Walken, actress that died, Natalie Wood?
Natalie Wood. She died on a boat. Supposedly was killed on a boat.
Yeah, I think she was killed by her husband. That sounds really bad. I don't know. No, I don't know. That's interesting. We're getting off topic. Okay, next story. This is how this night's going to go, guys. This is why we don't have a guest tonight, thankfully. I could not do an interview like this. All right, this next one's really interesting. Mystery 6-foot creature spotted on a rural road in England. And I'll tell you what, finding these stories while there's potentially World War III happening out there is really hard. People kind of forget about the weirdness, right? Witness who had been driving home in early hours of Sunday morning encountered something very unusual, and this, of course, had been previous Sunday. The incident, which occurred around 2 a.m. on Sunday morning on the A425 near Staverton in Northamptonshire, and I know I butchered that, has since been described only by witnesses who go by the name of Galloping High Road. Hope you weren't high. We've been away for a few nights and traveled back quite late, they wrote. Towards the end of our journey, there was about around 2 a.m. We were driving along a road in a rural area when something crossed the road in front of us in full height about 3 seconds. It was about the height of a person, maybe 6 foot or over, but had short, powerful legs and hips, which seemed to move in a circular, fluid fashion. It was not a deer because it stood on 2 legs. We drove back today, as it's only 7 miles from home, to look at the road layout, and whatever it was moved into the wild bowl-shaped field, dropping down into a stream. The story went on to generate quite a bit of debate online, and was picked up by several news sites. Cannot talk. As things stand, however, the identity of the creature that the witness saw that night remains total mystery. And it sounds like your kind of dogman kind of description. And I am totally focused on me, not showing the articles. Speak up. This is way off. We are way off. I am totally off my game. There's the road.
Oh, there you go.
The previous article, you didn't miss anything. Sure-wise. I am so sorry. It's really hard to concentrate when you're like, oh, I'm like totally. I usually sit back in my chair. I can't. All right, but what's interesting, the original article came from Wales Online, and the second article I have is from Wales Online, but told by Tim Bindle from Coast to Coast AM, just for the shortness of their articles. But both of these originated from Wales Online, and this other one is from a chapel story about a black dog, or a hellhound story that goes back to the 17th century. I've always been interested in, and the actual chapel's up for sale. I thought this was really interesting, and it's around the same time people are seeing like a dog, 6-foot man, somewhere not near the area, but around the area. 17th century chapel in Wales has gone up for auction, and depending on who you believe, the property comes with a rather unsettling feature in the form of a spectral hound said to lurk the grounds. The spooky site, which was reported in the Wales news story, is located near the community of Combram. Cwmbran, I know I butchered that. It served as a place of worship centuries ago, although today it's largely consists of the remnants of the building and an adjacent graveyard. And people can see this here. There's just a little building in a graveyard. The minister of the chapel found himself being pursued by a sizable black dog, and when the menacing creature caught up with him, the man of the cloth was forced to strike the hound with a Bible in order to keep it at bay. As the story goes, the blow from the holy book wound up causing the creepy canine to burst into flames, which burned the minister's beard and seemingly confirmed that the beast was supernatural and sinister in nature. And the centuries since the account unfolded, people living in the area have shared stories of a ghost dog said to reside within the chapel grounds. According to local folklorists, a spectral hound associated with the site could be either a more benevolent guardian spirit tasked with protecting the graveyard against near-dwellers, or alternatively a darker force which serves as a harbinger of doom to anyone unfortunate enough to encounter it. Some unlucky individual may soon be able to find out for themselves whether or not to report a ghost dog as friends or foe, as the chapel and the property surrounding it has recently been put up for auction. Perhaps sensing some resistance of potential buyers, the sellers downplayed the local legend of the spectacular hound. You really should upplay it, because who else is going to buy this? You really should upplay it, because you know who's going to be standing there with a little thing to put up at auction. It's going to be Zach Baggins.
Yep.
You really should just play it up, because I don't think anybody else has got much interest in it, except for the people like him.
Yeah.
And let him deal with the Black Hound. I'm just saying you should play it up.
I can see it.
Spectral hound.
I'm not saying, I pick on Zach because of some of the items he's bought for the museum, and I get it. He has an interest. He's macabre. I have a friend that's like that. She's totally macabre. She would totally buy that stuff. But I would admit, if I had a lot of money like him, I would buy properties. I would buy haunted properties. I would totally buy haunted properties if I had a boat. I don't think he has a boatload of money, but he's got some, But if I had enough money and had a boatload of money, I would be sitting in that auction, be outbidding Zach. It's mine, Zach Bagans. It's mine. I want the hell out. I will admit it. I would buy properties because I love houses, and I would love that. I would totally buy haunted houses. All right, let's move on. All right, this next story is interesting. It's from 1954, is the origins of this. And they had this great article on unknownboundaries.com, written by Chet Dembeck. He found a 1954 newspaper article that tells of capturing a UFO with no engine. This is from France. Yeah, that's the picture I shared. I thought I had a different one in there. I actually thought I had a picture of the newspaper article. One strange and compelling story that has circulated throughout the UFO community for decades is the story of a government capturing and dissecting a UFO, only to find that it has no means of propulsion. The type of event is most frustrating for the powers that be, but it has also led to speculation that these outer-worldly crafts are somehow powered by the very mind power of their elusive pilots. I have to say, after digging through many archives of newspapers and government agencies, this is from the writer, I've come to believe this is not some wild theory, but probably based in truth and real UFO recoveries. The Tales of the U.S. Technician. Here's one which a worthy example I discovered in a translated article that was published in the daily newspaper Le Rogue Republican of Rodez, France, page 4 of November 7th, 1954, that reports such a bizarre tale. Here we go. Does the United States keep a saucer in custody whose pilot fled in an emergency cigar? So this is a cigar-shaped UFO they find. And I'm hearing the waves. It's fuzzing or something, I think, coming through. Since the extraordinary offense of the unidentified flying apparatus these last months, this is 1954, remember, the public opinion is more and more impassioned with the enigma of saucers. Whereas no really convincing answer was reported so far, it nevertheless remains that the problem of the saucers is from now on tackled seriously by serious people. This is actually going to go on too long for me to read. I'm going to run out of time. But in this article, you can find this unknownboundaries.com, this 1954 France article, they describe this crashed cigar-shaped ship that was discovered in France. And then, of course, the U.S. military got involved and picked it up. And it had no propulsion they could see. And the picture you see here is like an artist's description of what was described the inside of the cigar-shaped ship looked like. 1954. This is before... the UFO craze was happening, but most people thought flying saucers. Cigar-shaped UFOs, that's more science fiction later on.
Yep.
I don't know. They could have made this up. But it's interesting to read this whole thing. I don't have time, darn it. I'm going to read the whole article. I ran out of time. I should have stopped talking. I was trying to find the one part where it really gets into the description of the ship. No engine. The interior of the saucer was entirely papered of a kind of fiber being connected with rubber. A rather heavy gas filled up 2/3 of the machine, and artificial atmosphere or fuel. See, like, there was part of it, they don't know if it was like, there wasn't oxygen, but there was like a whole section filled with the gas. So I'm guessing they're thinking, is that what they're breathing, or is that fuel? Slum levers were laid out around the portholes, but we could not make anything of it in the same way we did not find any engine. It seems that the pilot drove on all four right at the floor, like they were on all fours. We find, remember this is a translation, we found kinds of suction cups corresponding to the place of the hands and knees, but for each one of these noted 6 prints. Here's what I saw with several of my comrades. We were the only witnesses. The American authorities made the blackout on the affair, which did not filter in the newspapers of the Union. Yeah, so America came in and swiped it up. And this is, 10 years after World War II, so we're still pretty much there. But I think it's interesting, 1954 cigar-shaped UFO. All right, let's see. We're going to run out of time here. Next one, we got a plane passenger who's godsmacked. This is an article title from the Mirror. I don't know how godsmacked you're going to be by this. You probably can't even see it, but you can find this at themirror.co.uk. We got another plane passenger. There's been a lot of these lately, taking pictures or video of UFOs. I've seen an uptick in it. I look for a lot of weird articles and stories, and I've seen a lot more of these lately. And this is just another one. Plane passenger godsmacked this mysterious UFO seen as they take off. A plane passenger, blah, 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 cannot talk, claimed that they spotted a UFO out of the window during taking off from Glasgow Airport last Thursday. They quickly took photos of the unidentified object. This is what you see here. The plane passengers left godsmacked after they spotted what they thought to be a mysterious UFO from their window as they took off from a busy airport. The anonymous passenger claimed that they saw a large oblong shape flying through the air as they set off for the Glasgow Airport Thursday, February 17th. The photos were taken from the right-hand side of the plane as it took off from the Scottish airport. The sightings comes weeks after passengers on a plane from Glasgow to London Gatwick was spooked by a strange object she spotted during the flight. So this is just another story. Like I said, there's been a lot of these. Mariel Seal said that she spotted a UFO as the flight was descending into London and said it looked like an object in disguise which looked like it was hovering rather than flying. Just recently, the FBI confirmed reports that a flight AA292, which we covered in a World Wide Web story a year ago, was traveling between Cincinnati and Cincinnati and Phoenix on February 21st of 2021, had a near miss with an unidentified flying object shortly before 20 past 1 local time. That was a year ago, okay, and the FBI just recently confirmed that was a real thing that happened. The FAA confirmed it was real too, but wouldn't give any other information on it. Something's happening. I see a lot more. Maybe people are just looking out the windows more for it after all the more UFO stuff over the last few years. But it seems like there's been a lot more near collisions, and a lot of more closer flying ships to airplanes, which is, like I said, that's the one place I don't want to see a UFO.
I was going to say, that's your favorite place, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to see it. All right, we got to move on. We're going to run out of time. I don't want to read the whole article. This one, I'm not a big fan of the website, but LAD Bible, has this article up, and I'm familiar with this abduction case, but and I think about it, there's truth to this. A man who was abducted by aliens 50 years ago claims he warned the world about COVID and World War III. And I remember this story. It's about a fisherman who claimed he was abducted 50 years ago, and he was warned about COVID-19 pandemic, which he refers to as the plague. I remember Calvin Parker, 68, this case. Now, I didn't say COVID-19 back then, but he did say about a plague in World War III. This is not BS. This guy did say these things way back in the day. Calvin Parker, 68, says that until now, he's been keeping these visions to himself and now fears his claims are coming true, reports. He believes a UFO landed nearby the banks of a river in Pascola, Mississippi when he was just a teenager. The 19-year-old Calvin claimed he and his friend were grabbed by a strange creature which had, this is the reason I remember this, had lobster-like claws along with carrot-like nose and ears. This is one of those cases that is really weird. Like, they've stuck to their stories. His friend who has passed away stuck to his story till his death. But the whole description of it, it's like, I feel like these guys were, Nick Redfern, I think, might have mentioned this case, being psyoped. Because it's so weird. We all expect the gray aliens and stuff. That's not what this is, like lobster people. But go read his experience. He does say, he held on a lot of this, but they did mention some of these warnings, that he was given warnings by aliens back then. He just kept the details to it till now. Well, a little late. We're in about World War III now, and COVID already happened. And people talk about aliens warning them all the time. You know, these abductees, contactees. You know, if he really gave you the prediction, you got to talk about it beforehand. He did. I do know he said aliens warned him, the original case. Like, gave him, like, global catastrophe stuff. But he never gave details till now. I think it's a little late.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have said this stuff a few years ago, like, hey, it's coming, I think it's coming. They told me there's going to be a plague and there's going to be World War III, and then it all happened, then we might be listening. But that's, I don't know. Who knows? It's a weird story, the whole lobster and carrot face thing. But police investigated this story. I mean, it's a weird story. All right, we're going to run out of time. And this last one, I'm not going to read this article. It's a great article, though. You should go read it yourself at mysteriousuniverse.org by Paul Seaburn, who's a great writer. But I just found the article funny. His leading biophysiologist says ETs are afraid of Earthlings. Really? I don't think you need to be whatever this biophysiologist to know that. Not that they're afraid of our technology. I mean, obviously, they could just wipe us off the face of the earth. But our potential, I'm sure they're afraid of. I mean, we have plenty of things in history, I think, I mean, right now.
Afraid of us. I think they just avoid us.
Yeah, those humans are toxic and stupid. And literally toxic because of what we're doing to the planet and, radioactivity and the threat that we could just, blow ourselves up with nuclear weapons at any time. I'm sure, there's plenty of reasons I think ETs have. Like I said, I don't think you have to be an expert to figure that out. I think there's plenty.
Like this is the starship flying by and the alien teacher going, okay, look down at Earth, kids. That's where they keep all the beings.
It'll be like National Lampoons when the Griswolds go to St. Louis. And he's like, all right, Rusty, roll up the windows. Roll them up, kids. Roll up the windows.
Lock the doors and
That's
roll
Earth.
up the windows.
That's Earth. The aliens are passing by and they're roll up the window, Rusty. Roll up the windows. That would be Earth. Yeah, because we're toxic. We're toxic in so many ways, and we're proving it right now. I know everybody's minds are on World War III possibilities, Ukraine, and all that, and we'll talk a little bit before we get into the ITC Spirit Box. But all I want to say is, whenever there's a big world event like this going on and a narrative happening, like I said, there's little stories happening around it, things that have nothing to do with it, that you might miss. So don't get caught up in the narrative. Don't get caught up in the big story. Look for the things that are being put out there that they want you to not look at. Just saying, there's things going on. Open your eyes. All right, guys, we're going to go to commercial break. Like I said, it's probably going to be a short show tonight because, man, I can barely hold it on here with this sciatic nerve. But we're going to go to commercial break, come back, and then we'll open up the phone lines. Live ITC Spiritbox Night. Maybe some psychic games if you guys are up for it. I don't know how well I'll do at it. Or even if you want to call in and just talk about stuff, even if it's the potential World War III, Doomsday. Sure. Give it a shot. I'm a Gen X kid. I've been feeling like we're going to be nuked since I was a little kid. This is just every day to me, right? This is my childhood. We watched Red Dawn the other night. I was like, yeah, let's bring out the old 80s theme, right? All right, guys. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Of the second kind, physical evidence of a UFO. Close encounters of the third kind, contact. From Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, comes one of the most ambitious and unusual films ever made. And what you will see has never been seen before. It's a cosmic mystery crossing what many scientists believe will be the next threshold of human experience. It is called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It begins in an Indiana town and leads to one inescapable conclusion. We are not alone. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Certificate A. Now showing at the Odeon, Leicester Square.
The international chart-topping, Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest has been described as terrifyingly real, a must-read, shocking and chilling brilliance, genuinely worrying, utterly frightening. Don't read before bed. Described as one of the spookiest writers out there, best-selling author G.L. Davies presents Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest. The true paranormal account that is shocking the world. Dare you enter? Dare you read? Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and wherever books are sold. Pray you never have to live there.
This is the sound of a space clock aboard a U.S. satellite 180 miles above the Earth. No one winds up this timepiece. It's powered by a tiny battery, a battery that delivers power for years without replacement. Now the same type of battery, the Duracell battery, can bring new reliability and long life to your battery-operated equipment. Radios, cameras, toys, all run far longer. Duracell batteries, the long-distance power cells, outlast any ordinary battery. The same type of battery that keeps space clocks running for years can bring long life to anything powered by batteries. Dura, as in durable. Cell, as in power cell. The Duracell battery, made by Mallory.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe. 5 by 5.
Tonight on Paranormal Soup is live open lines, live ITC Spiritbox Night. You call in first off, you can call in and talk about whatever, pretty much. You know, as long as it's appropriate and interesting, right? Paranormal, especially. But you can call in and talk to the spirits if you want to tonight. Yes, yes. Hopefully it's the spirits we're talking to, not demons. No, I don't know. I've been told it's demons. I've been told it's all kinds of stuff. I don't know what you're talking to, but we're talking to something because we've gotten some crazy replies for people on here. And a lot of times it's after review and edit we find it, but it's happened live on the show where we hear it. We've heard audio come through that doesn't even come out of the spirit box. It's like a digital seance is what I've described it as. And, you know, be warned. Be warned. I mean, you are playing a little bit with fire when you do this. I only do this once and every so often because I don't run spirit boxes in my home otherwise, except for tonight on the show. And tonight I'm pretty much going to let Rob do it so I can keep the phone lines open. But it doesn't mean anything. Any weirdness can happen. We've had weirdness happen after doing these shows. Me, Rob, Jamie, in our homes at the same time. Yeah. The paranormal happens live here, and who knows, it's weird energy out there in the world right now, and we'll see if the spirits are just as weird about it or have anything to say about that. Of course we will. But I want to hear from you, and I want you to have an idea who you want to talk to, so focus. Tell the person, the spirit, a loved one especially, that you want them to come through tonight on this show, and have that intent in your mind when you call in. So let's go ahead and get rolling on into it. And like I said before, we're going to try to roll probably midnight Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern. We might make it 3 hours. I don't know. I have really bad sciatic pain right now. It is not helping. And I'm so glad I didn't have a guest scheduled tonight. It's just like, yeah, open lines, ITC, that's fine. Because it's hard to mentally focus. I'll just let you guys focus with the spirits tonight. Just keep your focus. To have them come through. Nobody's calling in yet. I do have it undisturbed. Usually people are popping up to call in on this stuff. A really short show tonight if people aren't calling in. Yeah, I got those phone lines rolling. Let me get the banner up for you so you know how to call in. Got the banner there. You can call in 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419. Or if you got Skype ID Jblandoo or Jblandparanormalsoup. Those are the ways to call in. Just like I said, have an idea of who you want to talk to, you know, focus on. But nobody's calling. That's weird. Usually it's blowing up before I even get to it. I will cover something. You know, I like I said, with the whole Ukraine, World War III prospects, everybody keeps talking on about and focusing on, which I don't blame you. We're humans. And, you know, we got our, you know, social media and TV and everything else, keeping our focus on it. You should always pay attention to the stories going on out there that are buried by those headlines. They're out there. Look for them. I do have a caller, hopefully. Did it take the call or did it hang up? Somebody tried calling in. Dang it. It's doing what it did last week. And just remember, if I hang up on you, I'm either having technical difficulties, like that one, or I have somebody else on the line. Right now, nobody's on the line, so I don't know what happened with that call. But like I said, you need to look for the stories that are buried by the headlines.
Adrian's trying to call.
Adrian, it was picking up, and then it just hung up. Tell her to try maybe a different number. I don't know. I think it looked like she was trying the Google Voice.
Says getting message system.
Why? All right. I see connecting voice audio. I'm hitting yes. Oh, this is a different person. We'll take him here in a second. But tell Adrian to try the 219-230-4444 line. Tell her to try that line. That should be open. Let me make sure it's open on the other end. Hold on, Dan. I'll get you in just 1 second. And now I see Adrian trying to call in on that same line. Let me do this. Maybe I can hold and accept. All right. So you're there, Adrian. It's going to go quiet. Go back to the show audio. Just hang in there. I'm going to get to you in a few minutes, but I'm going to put you on hold. So just hang in there. All right. Let's go see if I can pick up the other line because Dan had called in. All right. Let's see. So we should have Dan and Adrian should be on hold now if it holds there. All right. Dan, are you there?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm here. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm actually glad you called in because I was going to get to the story. Have you seen the Ghost of Kiev story? Like, I'm telling everybody, don't get focused on Ukraine. Look at the other stories. There is a good story out there about the pilot, the Ghost of Kiev. Have you seen that?
It sounds familiar. I may have refreshed my memory.
Well, it's recent. It's just like big social media story. And it's probably a lot of propaganda.
Oh.
Probably a lot of propaganda.
Oh, I never seen it then.
Yeah, but it's about a pilot, and they call him the Ghost of Kiev. Unconfirmed Ukrainian MiG-29 pilot credited with 6 kills in one day. You know, it's 5 to get your ace title.
Yeah.
And the first day of warfare there, he supposedly took down 6.
Man.
Yeah, I like the Ghost of Kiev. Me and Dan here, we play a game called Star Wars Squadrons online, and you know we're our little Star Wars pilot community here, and I thought that was a good story. Ghost of Kiev.
You know what I just heard for the first time not too long ago? A little song called Vertigo Go.
Yeah, people won't know that joke, but yeah, Vertigo Go. Inside joke for our squadron. But all right, Dan, what are we calling in tonight? You want to hear if the spirits want to talk to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of be careful here because
I know.
Like I say, yeah.
Have a good intent.
Have
a good intent, Dan. That's part of it. Don't look for the demons. You know, don't go dark on me, man. Have a good intent. Look for something good.
I'm gonna kind of keep it more open. I'm gonna try to keep it more open and find who really wants to talk to me. I think we'll
okay.
Try something like that.
All right, Rob, you want to go ahead and run the spirit box?
Yep, we're good to go.
I think I lost Adrian. Darn it.
Hello? Is anybody there?
We're here. All right, go ahead and call out to him, Dan.
If anybody's here that wants to talk to me, what show am I calling into right now?
Oh, did you hear the whisper?
Yeah.
Did you hear the whisper?
What'd it say?
It sounded like it said Paranormal Soup in a whisper. Am I only maybe imagining that? I don't know. Did you hear it, Rob?
I heard something like that.
Yeah, I saw you react when it did it at the same time I did.
Could you repeat yourself?
No.
Okay. Who am I talking to right now with here?
I heard Beelzebub and Elvis. It's an eclectic mix there.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's what I heard.
One at a time, please. Is there anybody with some? Hello, who is this?
Right. Hello. This is I, Vivian. Smile. 10.
Okay, I picked some stuff up there.
I heard it say whisper smile. I'm like, that's creepy.
And ask if she heard. If he heard her.
Is there any spirits that want to communicate with Dan? They have a message for Dan.
Does anybody know my name out there?
It sounded like it said we already said it. That's what I thought I whispered. I heard dream of your father. Like that.
The guy I saw that day, is he here?
Usually
Usually am.
I'm just gonna.
I mean, was it all real?
Can you say Dan's name again, just for validation?
Can somebody say my name, please?
You're inside the Empire.
So like it said, you're inside the Empire.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
We do fly for the Empire sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does anybody know what game I play all the time?
Sudden break. You see the lyrics that's and the beyond so
It'd been awesome if it said that. Said it.
Oh, I heard that.
Something about you crash. Yes, he does. A lot. So do I.
Do you say crash or you're so gross?
Come on now.
I swear it says you crash. And I'm like, yeah, we do. All the time in that game.
Do any of you know my gamer tag that I use?
just about to use.
I just heard it say Captain Damage.
Did you?
Oh my God.
I didn't.
I
But
did.
we'll review it. We'll listen for it.
That low female voice just said Captain Damage.
I think I heard it too.
Oh, Jamie heard it too. Oh boy.
If you awake.
What is my next steps in life? What should I be focusing on here?
Cool. So.
Something about your son, and I'm gonna have to listen back for the rest of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard a lot there.
You're needed.
You're a dad. You're needed. I heard that.
I heard that too.
I keep hearing a little child way underneath.
Any last messages for Dan?
Sure.
Jennifer something. I don't know.
To the man.
All right. Say goodbye to the spirits, Dan.
I got one more question
Okay,
before
one
I
more
leave.
question. One more.
And this is a big one. Can anybody confirm that UFOs are actually real out there?
I don't know.
I don't know on that one, man.
All right, Dan. Say goodbye.
All right,
to the
buddy.
spirits.
Goodbye, spirits. Goodbye. I'm going to go.
All right, bud.
See
you in the squadron.
All right, man.
Later, Dan.
See ya.
Just trying to think of some cool fly boys. Like, see you in the skies. You know, it's in space. I don't know. All right. Turn down a second. I think this might be Adrian. Who do we got on the phone line here? 808.
Hi, I'm Linda from Hawaii.
Oh, Linda from Hawaii. Okay, I saw you trying to call in. I didn't know if it was Adrian or not. So, okay, so Linda from Hawaii. How you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I have Adrian on hold. Okay, she's been waiting on hold. Hey, Linda, I'm going to ask a favor. Can you remain on hold for a little bit? Because I had Adrian on hold. Oh, maybe I don't. See, I thought I lost her, and then she was back. Maybe I don't. Call back, Adrian. I had you. Okay, well, I guess we're going to go with you because we lost Adrian. Dang it. It showed like she wasn't there, and then as soon as I picked up with Linda, it showed her there. That is so weird. Okay, sorry, Linda. Technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Make sure you mute us in the background.
Okay. Hi. So I'm hoping to connect with my mother who passed away, but I was just also wondering, is there anybody who would want to talk to me?
Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
That would like to have any messages?
Are there any messages for Linda?
Any warnings I should know about?
Something madness. That's all I've made out so far. Maybe turn it down just a little bit.
I'm wondering what color of shirt am I wearing right now?
I heard green. It's the only color I could make out. I heard maybe green. I don't know.
Somebody said black.
I heard the black just now, yeah.
I'm wearing a black shirt.
Okay. Can Linda's mother come through?
Mom, Janet? Do you have any signs that you leave for me?
Said signs.
Sensation.
Sensation?
I heard that.
Something about watching.
Phil, I know you passed away. Do you have anything that you want to tell me? You know we miss you, Phil.
Sure. Homeless. Tunnel vision.
Yep. I heard it kind of whisper 322. I don't know if that means anything.
One that I don't know.
I'm in the process of moving. Do you have any direction that you would like to guide me in? Spirits?
No, it's I don't know. I can, yeah, so.
I was wondering, what was that whistling? Those 2 times in the past month. What was that from? Where did that come from?
Turn it down a second, Rob. Ask again what you're asking it.
I was just wondering what the whistling that I've heard in the last month. Where did that come from?
West Wild and
And can you make that that whistling sound again.
Thought I heard no.
Awesome.
Hi.
My friend in South Korea who keeps trying to call in, I will get to you. The phone lines are full, so that's why he keeps hanging up on you. Sorry. We'll get to you soon, South.
Hello? Yes.
All right. Any last messages for Linda?
Just.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Linda, for calling in. Like I said, it'll be a couple weeks. We'll start getting the videos up as I edit them, so just keep a lookout on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
And if you hear anything, let me know in the comment section. If you hear something I didn't tag or makes sense to you what I did tag, let me know.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Linda.
All right. Thank you again.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Bye.
All right. We got 860 area code. Who do we got?
You finally got me. It's Adrian from Connecticut.
So sorry. Like it didn't show you
Right.
on the phone. Like I thought I had you on hold, and it made it look like it hung up on you. So then I went to the other line, and then it showed you. I'm like, oh, come on, man. And like
No, I hung up because you had the other person on, so that's okay. I'm
That's
here
all right.
now. That's what counts.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do we talk? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about World War III? You want to talk to some spirits?
Well, actually, something a little different for the ITC. Probably
Yeah.
hasn't been done yet. Have you ever had anyone ask to speak with their higher self?
I don't think so. Rob, Jamie? 6 years of doing this, it's possible.
Not
and
recently.
It's possible. It's possible. But I don't think so. I
I'm
don't remember editing a phone
I'm
call.
going to try
for
that.
That sounds cool.
All right. I'm going to try that and a part 2 on that. I want to talk to a leprechaun. I actually saw one once.
Yeah.
So I know they're real. March is coming up, so in honor of St. Pat's Day.
So if you can get a
But let me
leprechaun to
start
come
out
through.
with- Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I'll get some confirmations maybe because I know where I saw it. We looked at each other, so it was a tough little guy.
I think I remember this story. You calling in about this with a guest.
Yeah, it was kind of broody.
Yeah.
Thing, but sounds cool. All right, let me start off then.
All right, Rob.
My
Go ahead
higher
and fire it
self.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk to, if at all possible, the energy from my higher self.
You see.
I believe I saw you recently in meditation. To confirm, what was the color of your hair that I saw?
Red.
There's 2 colors, and it wasn't red.
I saw.
It was white and gold. White and gold hair. I don't know if we just heard that.
Well, Lori.
That's blue.
Golden lines is what she heard.
It was white hair with gold strands through it. Yeah,
Somebody heard
pretty
honey
cool.
brown.
Oh, like the highlights?
Tuna.
Maybe like
Right.
lines.
Like real gold. It looked like real gold threads going through it. It was pretty bizarre. So, to my higher self, I've heard about 5D. What will happen to me when the 5D wave hits?
I heard go to sleep.
I heard something else.
I thought I heard something about the ground or ground.
I heard the ground. I heard the ground and go
Yeah,
to
some
sleep.
some will collapse.
Is this 5G or 5D?
No, D as in David.
Okay.
This is a higher dimension.
Gotcha. That's just making sure.
Okay, again, a question for my higher self. What dimension do you reside in?
Show
8?
This dimension.
I think I heard 8.
Enlarging Earth.
I think I even heard the word dimension.
I heard dimension. I heard this
Yeah?
dimension. I swear, it was something dimensional. Definitely.
Oh, my hair's standing up right now, so my higher self might be right here. How cool is that? Okay, one more question. Is there anything you have as far as advice for me in 1 or 2 words?
Spirits.
Spirits bring back help. That's what I've gotten out of all that.
Okay, because I've been helping people a lot spiritually with spirit problems, so
Yeah.
that fits.
I heard spirits
All
right
right,
away
thank
after
you.
your question, and then a few seconds later, that bring back help.
That's awesome. That's what I try and do. Thank you very much to my higher self. My next being that I'd like to say hi to, if you have the time,
we do,
is the leprechaun I saw in Canton, Connecticut. Are you there? Okay. I'm wondering if you have an Irish accent even.
Never gonna get to my Lucky Charms. That's what we've heard.
Do you remember where we were when I saw you? What building were we at?
Not sports bar.
We were sitting outside, and I saw you standing behind someone named Ariel. Were you there for her? Because she's Irish, and I assumed you were there for her. And coincidentally, was there any reason you were wearing orange and green? I remember your green jacket and orange shirt, the Irish colors. All right, and my one last question for you, sir. What dimension do you reside in?
Angel.
I heard that.
I believe it.
Dimensions.
I think I just heard another word called dimensions.
Yeah, I did.
So
I heard it.
That's pretty cool. All right, I'd say we've had quite a bit of success with this session. I really appreciate it.
Great
All of
idea.
you.
Great idea. Calling to talk to your higher self. I love it.
All right, well, we'll give someone else a turn. Thank you all.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good one, Adrian. Now, somebody made a comment in the chat room I want to get to that I'm really interested in. It was John. I'm going to bring this back up if he's still there, I hope. I wanted to get to it, but I didn't want to. Adrian had been trying to call in. But I saw this. Said, hey, my Irish twin died 2/12/20. He saw a dogman 2 weeks before. He had a friend who heard the dogman too. He and she both, she told me, it sounded like a 1,000-year-old Aztec whistle. Which, if you heard an Aztec whistle, death whistle, it is creepy sounding. It is super creepy sounding. And recently, they had it in a TV show, Resident Alien. I think was it Resident Alien? No, maybe it wasn't Resident Alien. Where was it? No, maybe it wasn't Resident Alien. What TV show? No, it wasn't Resident Alien. I'm trying to think what TV show this kid keeps screaming. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters Afterlife. They has the Aztec whistle. That was what it wasn't a TV show, it was a movie. But yeah, really creepy sounding. I'd love to hear more about this story. I know you're so sorry you lost your brother. And usually they are bad omens to see a dogman. I'm Irish, a lot of Irish in me, and really interested in the hellhound stories and dogmen. I don't know why, I just have deep interest. Also because of some weird dreams I've had of dogmen, like in like a big black hellhound kind of thing. They've kind of haunted me for years. So I've always got an interest in that. So I'm interested to hear more on that one, John. All right, we got Zach on the line. How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. How you doing this evening?
Doing good. Who we wanting to talk to in the spirit world tonight?
Well, let's just, I'd say let's just open it up and see who comes through. Don't have anybody in mind. Let's just see who comes through.
All right. You can talk to your higher self. I thought that was an awesome idea.
I think I'm all right. I think my higher self might tell me some things that I probably don't want to hear. So.
You're not.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're not ready for that trip, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what?
You can't
I had some
handle
edibles last week. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good.
Yeah, your higher self comes through as Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Thank you, Rob. Great quote.
Okay, who wants to talk to Zach?
Anybody have anything to tell me?
To feel the energy.
You feel all the energy from the earth. I heard that in that female's voice. Yeah, the energy is really weird right now. That's what I feel.
Who is going to win this war in Ukraine?
Putin. I heard that. I'm sorry. I heard that. I'm not. I heard that clear as day.
Change.
What?
Change abroad. Something like that.
What cigar am I smoking right now?
Feels much defeat. Scream! Alec, for you.
Did she say like Korea and Alan?
John.
I know I had my friend from Korea there trying to call in.
Go.
Just heard my name in there a second ago.
Yeah.
It says your name a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Can you tell me what towns I was in earlier today?
Where's
Six is all I've made out of that.
Hi.
Yeah, I bet.
Fusion.
Nope.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who is going to be on the Republican ticket for the next election?
I'd love for it to say, who cares?
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
Your mom?
Your mom?
Did he? He said your
It sounded
mom.
like your mom. So like your mom. Your mom. That's what it sounded like. Tricky.
Careful, she might actually run for president.
I'd vote for your mom. I don't even know her, but I'm sure she'd be way better than any picks we're actually going to get in 2024. Guarantee it.
Oh, I can only imagine just a foreign meeting with Vladimir Putin. I don't even know if he can beat my mom. I can't beat my mom in an argument, so let's see how that goes.
I think a ton of our moms would be way better than any of the choices we've got in the last 30 years for president or 40.
That's true. All right, Spirits, before I go, do you have any last messages for me?
Ja, gespannt. Kannst du folgen. Okay. Leben. Hey, mate. Yet.
Yet. So it sounded like. All right, Zach. I don't know if we got anything, but definitely your answer about who's going to win the war right away. I heard Putin. I'm pretty sure that's going to come across when I review it as Putin. It sounded like that.
So?
You still there, Zach?
What?
Nope. Oh. It's like he's flashing in and out. He's gone. He lost signal. Well, Zach, thank you for calling in. We'll see if we got anything. I don't know if he hung up or I think it hung up on him. All right, I think this is my friend in South Korea, I believe. Who do we got on the line?
This is Al in Korea.
Al, yep, yay. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to try to call
how's
back.
that novel coming? How's that novel coming? Do you ever start working on it?
A little bit here and there, but I got a long vacation in Florida. I want to really start, I'm going to have a lot of time, we're not going like any like Disney park thing or doing that with the kids. We're going to go, hopefully go see St. Augustine's Lighthouse with the kids. But we're just relaxing with the grandparents. So I'm like hoping during that time, I have this nice writing app. I've written actually a lot on my phone, like just sitting there typing on my phone. So I want to get back into it. But the thing is, it's not just one. There's like a couple story ideas I keep adding to and going back to. So we'll see if I ever get anything out again.
Hey, have you ever thought about using assisted AI to help you write? There's actually some apps that only cost like about $10 a month, something like that. And the one I use that really, it doesn't write for you.
No.
But it'll give you ideas. Like you type in, like, there was a caveman with a red claw or whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
And then, And, the one I use is Sudo-Write, S-U-D-O Write.
I'll have to check it out.
It really helps. It really, really helps.
Yeah, it'd be cool if I wrote it for you like in Stephen King's The Tommy Knockers. Like the ladies that'd be awesome.
It does have that option.
Take my mental.
You can select
the Tommy Knockers option.
It actually says custom. You'll say you can write like write in Stephen King's voice or Tom Clancy's voice. Seriously, I'm serious. And what it is they took a AI GT3 and pumped it full of the internet, everything on the internet for like 5 years, all the books, everything, and just a massive amount of data. And you type it in, and it'll pump something out. Now it might go off in left field, so it really does not write it for you, but it will help you with like.
It'd be interesting to see where AI goes writing.
There's a lot of journalists that are going to start using that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It probably could do a lot better than most of what Hollywood scriptwriters are giving us right now.
And that's the scary thing. A couple of people that have done reviews on them this thing actually writes true good, but you still got to be at the range to keep it under control.
Yeah.
Because they had about I'd say about 1,000 words. About 500 words. It starts getting goosey-loosey, and it just goes off, and it starts writing porn or whatever.
Because it's getting his info from the internet.
And then he took his shirt off, and he was sweating. Yeah. Hey,
what's it called again?
Question for the spirit. Oh, pseudo right. SUDO right. WRIT.
I have to check that out.
And then .com, of course. And there's a whole. I'll use the bad word there.
Yeah.
There's a whole slew. There's a whole slew of different ones. That's just one of many. GTP3 General something is like it's changing the world. It's changing the world.
Yeah, it's called Skynet. It's going to take over the world, and we're looking at nuclear war.
I think we need a Skynet. Think about every politician, American, Russian, whatever, just psychopaths.
Yeah.
They're psychopaths.
And the AI will discover that and be like, let's just wipe off humans. This world will do a lot better.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Because we keep electing those psychopaths.
Except, okay, look at this guy in Ukraine. He was a comedian. 3 years ago, he was a stand-up comedian. And so he didn't really seek power, And so he's just like, actually, did you see that one comment he made when they told him, we want to take you out of country so you be safe?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Right. I need bullets.
Yeah, I need ammo. Yeah.
I need ammo.
Oh my God.
Not
That's
a
a
taxi
meme.
ride.
That's to be a meme.
You see? You see the Ghost of Kiev, the whole fighter pilot story there that's going around?
Yeah.
I think that's what
shot
really
down like a whole slew of SU. Oh yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get the Spirit Box.
Spirit Box.
Yep.
Okay, Spirit Box. Should we be worried about what's going on with Ukraine? And here's the thing: I'm thinking, Moscow is doing the stuff with Ukraine. China
exactly.
China is noticing that, and they flew twice now in a couple of days into Taiwan's airspace. And I'm afraid America is going to get into a whack-a-mole thing.
Well, the thing is, we're not bound to protect Ukraine. I don't want to get into all this, but we're not bound to protect Ukraine, but we are bound to protect Taiwan. And if China does that, that's the problem.
Here's the scary thing with Article 5 of NATO. NATO's got Article 5 says if one country is attacked, that's considered an attack on all the countries. Yep. And that's the same thing that got us into World War I.
You got
That's exactly the same thing. They call it, like Archbishop or whatever, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let me get off my soapbox.
Yep. All right, let's talk to the spirits. Go ahead. You had your question. Ask it again. Rob's going to fire it up. Zach, I see you're back on. Well, hold on. We'll get you.
Okay, should the world be worried? Should America be worried about what's going on in Ukraine? And is China going to be trying anything with Taiwan?
And trying to go in. What? Try.
Ooh. Or the light bomb.
Oh, never heard of one of those.
Except for a nuclear
maybe
bomb.
light bomb is in. Maybe a light bomb is in truth.
Right.
Like I said, did you see on the site? I said this is World War Wired.
Ask him another question now.
Okay. If you're okay with what I'm going to ask, geez, how can I phrase it? Can anybody do a little thing like knock on wood or touch Jason's shoulder as he's doing the broadcast? Are you comfortable with that?
Not really.
You can
Okay,
use
can you touch?
you can use me.
There you go. Go for Jamie.
Okay. Can you touch Jamie's shoulder or show some physical manifestation, and so she can absolutely know, hey, you guys are the real deal.
Just two.
They can
Just
flip
two.
my hair up.
Right. Yes.
Or yes, but we haven't seen any action. Go get her.
Jamie's the bait.
Oh, I just heard my grandmother's name. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Vita.
Yeah, my grandmother and my mom's birthday's tomorrow. They shared a birthday.
Oh, wow.
Better.
I'm using the Spiritus app, by the way, too.
Anything? Jamie, anything?
Nada.
Okay, maybe a personal question. If I get an answer, fine. Mom, are you there? I love you. Coming up on your death day.
Say that again. Rob turned down a second because I didn't hear what he said. Go ahead.
Okay. Mom, hi, are you there? I want to say hi. I miss you horribly. And it's coming up on your death day. When you died, I was in Minnesota, and I went out. It was just a gorgeous, gorgeous spring day. And I remember thinking, how dare it be beautiful? How dare it be blue skies? You know, you just died. Anyways, I miss you, Mom. Do you miss me?
Miss me. I think I heard miss me.
Yeah.
Queen of the choosers.
Exactly.
Yeah, Zach's on the other line. Hold on.
Do you know that he misses you very, very much?
I love you.
He's listening. If you can say something to him.
That's not it.
Hello. Yeah. Better.
Okay, I guess they're not going to answer.
It might have. We will review.
Yeah. Hey, just a story. This actually happened. I swear this happened. I got the same type of spirit box app on my phone.
Yeah.
So after I did it with you when we were on Heather's show, long time ago, I got like really psyched. Oh, let me try it. So I downloaded the app and I used it. I tried it and I got nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Next day, I wake up. I take my phone, I unplug it, and on my screen of my phone is this Ouija board, and it says, "Leave us the F alone."
What?
I'm not kidding you. It said, "Leave it." You know, my phone was just plugged in. I didn't touch my phone because I was using my iPad for the app.
Whoa.
And yeah, the Ouija. In fact, you can see you can go on Google and go images and see that board. It's a similar board. Leave me the F alone. Yeah,
Wow.
and boy, that got my attention.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's really weird.
Wow, that is really weird. That's a new one. Wow, I guess that's the message. Don't mess around with the spirit box. Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it's
Anyways,
just
like
a
I said,
grumpy girl.
Yeah.
Pseudo right, and please get that novel written.
Yeah, I know. All right, Al. You have a great night, man. Or day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, we got Zach that called back in because we lost connection. You still there, Zach?
Yeah, I'm still here, brother. I'm sorry about that. The connection just completely went out.
Yeah.
In the call. So, but I just wanted to give a call back just to thank the spirits also.
Awesome.
For talking to us over this evening, and please don't follow me home.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's why you say goodbye to the spirits.
There was one. There was. All right, spirits. Have a good night. Yeah, I had a very bad experience one time with a spirit box session, and I ended up with a very negative entity in my apartment. So
yeah. Just be warned. It is a good idea after you're done to say goodbye, spirits. Close it off. Close the circle. Say goodbye. All right, Zach. Have a great night. All right, we're going to go up here on a commercial break in a few seconds. I don't think I addressed this yet. There was another comment about John calling in on, let me see if I still have that. There's a lot of comments, so it's hard to find it. I tagged it. I know there's a way to bring it up. There it is. Here it is. It said, yes, it happened in Eastern Shore, Virginia. I'll call later this evening. There's a lot of the story still raw, I bet. I can't imagine. But I am interested to hear that. You know, anything to do with dogmen like that, but it's very personal. I definitely understand that. Oh, that's your spirit box. I thought it was my volume thing. But we're going to go to commercial break, guys. When we come back, we will... hold on. I hit the right button. Well, that's the wrong music. I am way off my game. That's the right music. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines. They'll be closed down during the commercial break. So just wait to call in when we come back from this commercial break. And call in. See if the spirits will talk to you. You know, if you got a loved one in mind you want to talk to, let's try it. You know, and ask them before you call in. Or while you're waiting on the line. Hey, come through on the show. Talk to me. Focus. Put your intent on it. If you want to call in and just ask spirits about, oncoming World War III and all that, I'm good with that too. We'll see. Or, I really think I heard it say Putin when Zach asked, who was going to win the war in Ukraine. Sadly, But you know what? I've always said I don't think the spirit box is always the greatest at predicting the future. But then again, it has said some stuff that did come true. I don't know. We'll see when we come back from the short commercial break.
An experiment into the combined effects of sensory deprivation and hallucinatory drugs. The subject of the experiment is himself, and the experiment is out of control. Ken Russell's Altered States, a film that must not be missed, is in the West End now. Altered States, Certificate X.
Do you wish for more paranormal and spiritual content? The Paranormal Chronicles magazine is a free digital magazine crammed with the very best in paranormal and spiritual articles and features. No sign-up, no subscription, just free reading and knowledge for you. Read today at www.paranormalchronicles.com/magazine.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, The Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Paranation Magazine is a new paranormal magazine based out of Denver, Colorado. Our goal isn't just to give you the best paranormal content out there, but to promote paranormal unity. We're doing this by giving everyone an opportunity to tell their stories and to share their experiences. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Paranation Magazine and soon, paranationmag.com.
I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is the extraordinary travels of a young, alone, and broke psychic in the highly anticipated new book from internationally renowned psychic, medium, medical intuitive, and best-selling author Sherry Dillard. Critics have described I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like as an engrossing memoir, an empowering story of how a broken girl came to accept her psychic gift, a refreshing and fun read. I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is available through Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold.
Edgar Allan Poe wrote Spirits of the Dead with a pen dipped in warm blood. You will see the ultimate in terror with this important all-star cast. Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda in Edgar Allan Poe's Spirits of the Dead. Only Poe's demented genius could bring to the screen such horror and evil. Spirits of the Dead stars Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda. Directed by three masters of the cinema, Federico Fellini, Louis Malle, and Roger Vadim. Spirits of the Dead is an adventure in terror beyond your wildest nightmares. Spirits of the Dead in color is rated R.
Accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr. Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419 or by Skype caller ID Jblandoo or Jblandparanormal Soup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight is live open lines, live ITC Spiritbox Night. Call in and see if the spirits will talk to you. Like I said, to have somebody in mind to talk to is always the best. Call out to them while you're waiting on line or on hold or before you call in. Tell them, hey, I want you to call in, or I'm going to call in. I guess they call in too. I want you to talk to their device, talk through it. Communicate to me. Have some validation questions. Have those ideas in your mind. And a lot of times we don't hear it live on the show. It comes back in the review, which takes me a few weeks to get through or more. And we'll post up the video, and I'll listen the best I can. I take time to review these. I don't just once sit through. I go through it several times. And try to put up just what I hear. If I can't tell what it says, I won't tag it. I just leave it blank and let you see. And that's the thing. You can go back. I might miss something you hear. and you can comment on the video and let people know this is what I heard, or confirm if something I've tagged relates to you. That's the beauty of this, and I've gotten confirmations from people. I'm always surprised. I'm always thinking, oh, I'm editing these videos. This probably means nothing to them, and I'll find out one of the messages I tagged that means nothing to me means something really big to somebody else. A message from the other side. It happens. So call in the show, but let's go ahead and get right back into it. All right, gotta make sure opening up the phone lines again. Oh, that's not what I want to do. That's the wrong button. All right, phone lines are back open. Call in, see if the spirits will talk to you, or if you want to just talk about the craziness of the world, or like I said, I had somebody who has a really interesting story I wanted to hear about if he wants to share tonight. I was just looking at the chat room right now. Oh, what's about that? Okay.
Turquoise has an interesting question.
That's what I was looking for. Let me see what she says here. I'll give you some advice. The last thing I need is something evil in my damn house. She's talking about, I saw this about Keith Linder's book. I got a set of 3 autographed books from the Awful House. Keith Linder, he said he's included a souvenir from the house. I haven't opened the box yet. Yeah, it's like you don't want a souvenir from that house. I'm kind of scared too. Would it be all night if I sage the book before I bring them in the house, or speak with them holy water or Florida water? Something special about Florida water? Whatever he sent me for a souvenir, would it be okay if I put it in the mason jar in a shed 100 yards from my house? Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. I don't know what he sent you. I don't know if it's a great idea to bring that into your home. It says I got an incoming call. Is it going to pick it up? I hate that. It's like it's calling in, but then nothing comes up. So somebody's trying to call in. Where did it go? Time. Yeah, just now, and it just hung up. Why is it hanging up? I have it off of Do Not Disturb.
I would
It's
say
a 319 area code.
I would say if you have a gut feeling or, something that tells you no, to listen to it. Could be nothing, but
yeah.
Bury it on the outside line of your property somewhere.
Or up around and find out and open it up and let's see what happens and call in and tell me the whole story. That'll make it interesting.
Well, she can still open it and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing I don't think is going to unleash on her. But as far as having the object around your home, your animals, your stuff, I don't know.
I saw a 319 area code call in just a second ago, and it lost connection right away. I don't know. Try calling again. Hopefully, you can pick it up.
I myself won't even take stones, crystals, or rocks from people that I don't really know. If somebody just mails me a rock in the mail, I return it to the garden because I don't know what they've done to it. So I'm even weird about that kind of stuff.
It carries energy. I mean, anything can. I always watched when I was a kid was that the show Friday the 13th. The TV show.
With
Nothing
the
to do with Friday
curious things, yeah.
Yeah, remember they had I loved that show when I was a kid. Yeah,
That
did you
was
watch
awesome.
that?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, it was always on late at night, and me and my cousins would be staying at my grandparents' house, and they had TV antenna, but you could find the station late at night, and they'd be playing it. It was totally not appropriate for kids in
like
any
a
such
Twilight
way.
Zone,
Oh my
but
God, it was so dark.
Zach's Motel, yeah.
Yeah, and anybody check out Friday the 13th, the series, and it's nothing to do with Jason Voorhees or any of that. It's a total show about, it's from the 90s, 80s, and these cousins inherit this antique shop and are like, oh, let's just sell all this stuff off, and they find out it was an antique shop that was holding items that were possessed by the devil. And they would always give somebody something cursed. Yeah, they would always give somebody an ability or power, but it was always somebody had to die to keep fueling that power in whatever way it was.
Your soul to the devil.
Yeah, the messed up one was the guy, and there's an episode where a guy wants to be this rock star, but it's not a man, it's a woman. He wants to be her, and he makes him become her. It's really messed up, really messed up. There's so many good episodes from that. It was a messed up
Those
show.
are good times.
Good times, 80s horror TV, late at night. 2
That
or
and
3 a.m. in the morning.
Keeper.
Crypt Keeper, yep.
Elvira and Up All Night.
All right. Well, phone lines are open. I saw one person try calling in and I hung up on them. I don't know if it's my line or what's going on. I don't see anybody else. If you want to run the spirit box, we can ask some questions here and see if we get anything. Ask it about World War III. That's where everybody's whispering. Everybody's minds at. Like I said, I don't think the spirit box is great at predicting the future.
Because there's still free will involved, so I don't
Yeah, the
know.
future's
that we
always in
can
motion.
Predict. Yeah, I don't think we can predict the future. The
I don't know.
future.
The future.
From
You
the
know,
future.
we did the whole before 2016 election. We were like, who's going to win? And then it was like 4 times it said Trump, 1 time it said Clinton. You know,
Or it just won't say anything at all. It gets
All right.
quiet, or it plays like a blasts a loud noise at you.
it's not available, huh? Joanne says she is trying to call the number and it's saying it's not available. Try a different one, maybe. I don't know which one you were trying. It looked like you were trying to call the 219-230-4444. If you're international, I know that one has issues. Maybe the Google Voice would let you 260-225-9419, because that's the one Al from South Korea calls in on. That's international. So yeah, if you're calling from outside the country, maybe I don't know. She is, or sometimes it's just phone services don't like that sideline number. That's the other deal. It could be in the country, but your phone service doesn't want to connect with that one. I don't know. It's weird though. I saw it like pick up and then hang up, like lost connection, and she's not the only one I get that issue with. I know. I don't have a fancy phone system here, sadly. I don't have it's all off of the cell phones and tablets. All right, spirits. What's going on in the world, spirits? You got any messages as us for our impending doom, the future?
Yeah.
Spirits Marie in the chat room wants to know if her husband Adam has anything to say to her.
So 319 area code was Heather. All right, she was calling on the sideline number. I know she's in America. So, all right, here's somebody. This is the Google number, I believe. Pick up. Let's hope. All right, let's see. Hold, turn it down a second. All right, it says 207 area code. Who do we got?
This is Joanne.
Hey, Joanna, you made it in. Awesome.
Yes. Excuse me.
That's
Got
all
a
right.
frog in my throat.
It's all right. So do you have anybody, are you wanting to call in to talk to the spirits tonight?
Yes.
Do you have a particular spirit in mind?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So Rob's going to fire it up here, and I want you to call out to them. Now, you can say their name. That's up to you. Or you can try to get them to say it's their name for validation, however you want to do it. Sometimes I think it's best just to say their name as a way to call out to their energy. Not their last name, just the first. It's up to you. But validation questions are great, too. So, all right. Go ahead. Call out.
I'm actually going to call out for my grandfather.
Okay.
I don't want to say his name.
Okay.
Because more than one person in the family who's passed that have the same name.
Okay. And Joanne's grandfather come through.
Please, your ends, getting up and all that stress, your hair.
What? Joanne's calling for her grandfather. Can he speak?
Change the waters of earth. Yes.
Yeah, we used to call him Pepe because he was French. Or he's French.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Was it a
It said-
pep or Pepe?
It sounded like Pepe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepe.
It sounded like it repeated you.
French Canadian.
For now, talk to
Is Pepe here?
Or can someone help Pepe communicate with her?
I gotta tell you, that he actually died when I was very young, and I have a brief memory of him. And when that voice came through, that first voice, boy, that sounded like him.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It's not. We do get that. I get people that call in and they hear the voices of their loved ones, but sometimes, a lot of times the messages are coming through in all these different voices, and you're getting messages. But I've heard my grandmother's voice through here before.
There's something that happened when I was young. This is after he passed. And I'm sort of looking for validation that it was him.
Okay, if you know what she's talking about, can you give her something for validation that she'll understand?
Oh my God.
What?
I just heard the word yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I can tell you what it was.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we were little, I came from a family of 4 brothers and me and my parents. And my youngest brother and I, we used to share a bedroom. And when I got to the age of asking questions, because I was the only girl, my mother told my father I need a room of my own. Well, this was after my grandfather had passed, and we had a very large porch, a screened-in porch, and what my father did was he divided that porch into an entryway and into a bedroom for me. And he borrowed the money from my grandmother to be able to build those 2 rooms. And once I got moved into that bedroom, which was mine, one night I remember waking up and I looked to the left and all I saw was this floating head.
Oh, wow.
And it scared the bejeebies out of me.
Wow.
And of course, I started screaming.
Yeah.
And my room was right next to my parents' room. And there was this false window between my room and their room. And of course, my mother and dad woke up and my mother came running in. And I remember the face, but I couldn't for the longest time not remember what my grandfather looked like. And strangely enough, my father had no pictures of his father in their collection of family pictures. And it wasn't until, I want to say when my uncle, which was my father's brother, when he passed away, which was a number of years after my dad died.
Yeah.
At his funeral, when my cousins had the photo albums of his family, when I saw a picture of my grandfather, that I realized that was him.
Wow.
That I had seen that floating head
May I ask
in
you
my
a question?
bedroom.
I got some questions
Sure.
too.
When you saw it, what color was it?
Yeah, it seems you're asking my question because of my experience.
I remember it was green.
Oh my God! 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 Okay, Joanne, hold on a second. Okay, I know it looked like your grandfather, but I've been searching. I've only known one other person to really tell me a green floating head story because I had mine. When I was 4 or 5, me and my cousin Philip saw a green floating head that terrified us one night, and chased us out of the room. Now, it was female. This one I saw was female. And it reminded me, I've always been freaked out by the Wizard of Oz because it reminded me of the green and all that. And that's why I have the green glowing stuff in the background. And green's like my favorite colors because it was glowing green. And I'd heard this kind of moaning, crying. And then it's just poof through the wall. And it was this loud wail. And it was spinning around the room. And me and my cousin, basically booted it out, got out of there to make the story short. He never heard the wailing, though. And he just remembers the green floating head. And he thought it was a nightmare until I reminded him of it. But he's not Irish like I am. And I heard the wailing. I always wondered if it was a banshee. And I met one other person when I was really just starting out in paranormal investigation during a group thing I was in. Happened just by chance to be mentioning that they had seen a green floating head when they were a child about the same age. And they didn't hear anything, but they saw it floating over their father when they were just a little girl. And she was Irish, a lot of Irish heritage. So I don't know, I've always thought about that, but I've been searching for other people who've had experiences or seen a green floating head. So you said it looked like your grandfather, but there was a green hue to it? A green glow?
Yes.
Wow. How old were you?
Well, it was before I started school. I started school at the age of 6.
Okay, so you're around that same age. Oh my God, Joanne, I've been searching for people with this story, and maybe it's not related or not, but you're around the same age. So did you hear any noises?
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
That's how it was for my cousin. He says, I don't remember a noise or anything. I remember it. I remember it starting out with like hearing somebody crying. I thought it was his mom crying or weeping. I'm like, why is his mom crying?
I don't remember what it was exactly that woke me up from that. All I do is and my mother. I'm old. Okay, I'm almost 100% certain that I'm much older than you are.
I'm 42.
And okay, well, I'm about a little over 20 years older than you are.
The lady who had this encounter was older than me by about 10 years, probably. I think, if I remember right.
Okay. Another similarity in what you were saying, I have a brother by the name of Philip.
I missed that. What was the brother's name? Philip? Oh, you said Philip?
Yes, I have a brother by the name of Philip.
Yeah, he's a cousin of mine, but we were like brothers. We're like only a month apart in age, and his mom and my mom were sisters.
My brother Phil and I are 3 days apart, and 2 years. 2 years and 3 days apart.
Yeah, I was lucky. I had a witness to my encounter, and we were like 13 or 14, and it was that many years later I brought it up to him, and I remember his face just going totally white. He's like, "What are you talking?" He's like, "That was a nightmare." I go, "How can it be a nightmare if I was there with you, buddy?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I just thought it was a nightmare," and I'm like, "No, I remember it. I was there. The only thing that was different in our remembrance is that he didn't remember it making any noise. I remember a wailing and screaming. And the only thing I could attribute to it is that if it had anything to do with me and heritage-wise and my Irish background, maybe, because on that side, my mom's side, there's not really that much Irish, but on my dad's side, there's a ton. And there is some stuff with floating heads and the banshee lore. What's your heritage?
Mine is French-Canadian.
French-Canadian. I remember you said the French. So.
Canadian French, yeah. I have to kind of chuckle because I'm a huge fan of Josh Turner.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh had mentioned to me on one of his shows that he had said that you wanted to do a thing about floating heads.
Yes.
And,
I told him to keep an eye out there because he gets so many great people email him with stories like, have you had any green floating head stories? And he relayed a couple floating head stories, but none of them that were green till yours.
Yeah. I actually messaged him just before Facebook did a number on him. And then I found out that Facebook had blocked him, so I figured he didn't get my message.
It's very possible.
Yeah, but, I don't believe in or I do believe in, what do you call it?
Coincidences?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, coincidences. And I just happened to be scrolling through YouTube, and I saw that your program was on, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over to that, and because I really should be in bed fast asleep because it's almost 1:00 here.
I hear you. Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
midnight here, and I have to be up in 6 hours basically for my kids' school. And that's I got a bad sciatic, so I might be ending the show early. But man, I'm glad I've been hanging in there because your call made my night. Your call made my night. You know how long? Seriously, because Jamie and Rob know. That's why Jamie had to ask that question because she know everybody. I mean, a lot of people that watch the show for a long time have heard me tell my green floating head story. I printed it in what is that? Gavin Lee Davies Paranormal Chronicles magazine had a printout of my story. Because it's really imprinted in my mind as one of my first paranormal encounters I knew was paranormal. It opened me up at 4 or 5 years old. However, I was either 4 or 5. It opened me up to the idea at that point on because I never forgot it. Never thought it was a dream. Like my cousin made, he just pawned it off. It was just a nightmare. I never did. I remembered it. It stuck with me. I'm haunted by it to this day. And it opened my mind up at the very early age that anything's possible. If you can see a green floating head screaming at you, floating around your room, and chasing you and your cousin out of there, then all this stuff could be real. I was like Slimer and Ghostbusters to me as a kid. I was like, that could be totally real because of what I saw. It opened my mind to any possibility. It changed me.
Well, my mother contributed it. At that time frame, we had a black and white TV, and at that time frame, the big hit was Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
At that age, so my mother told my father, you're not watching that show anymore. It's giving her nightmares.
Yeah. That's usually the go-to of a parent. Like, what are they watching that influenced? Oh, it's giving them nightmares.
Yes, and of course, the following week, us kids were begging my mother, let us watch it, and no, it scared your sister, and blah, 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 and I'm not going to be afraid again, famous words. And I never, that was the one and only time that I had seen him, but I always had my suspicions that it was him, but, and my parents were like, there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no such thing as monsters, there's no such thing as this.
That's kind of the parents' go-to, though.
Well, yeah, and I'm actually am psychic, but all my life, my parents had always told me, you're not seeing what you're seeing. And of course, when you're being told that as a kid in a Catholic family, very strict Catholic family, you start to believe that. And you learn how to not say anything because
I was very lucky to grow up in the household I grew up in. I grew up with very open-minded parents. My dad's he's my stepdad, but he's my dad really. He's very scientific, believes in quantum physics. He's very much into science and all that, but he's an open-minded person. And my mom, who's kind of similar in the science sense, but she's very open-minded too. And so I grew up lucky. Yeah. That's why I'm the weird kid that I am, because I didn't have parents telling me, oh, none of that's real. And, they'd ask me questions and make me think about it. Any experiences I had, let my imagination go wild.
What's ironic is that later on in life, my mother told me that her mother was psychic. And my grandmother on my dad's side told me that she was psychic, and also her mother was psychic, but they would never admit it in front of anybody else.
Exactly.
And it's, that is so frustrating to find out only like years and years.
Because it explains so much, right? You wish you would have known.
Yeah.
See, my family, I didn't get any of those stories from my family, especially my dad's side of the family is disconnected. I'm disconnected from. I'd love to know more. I feel like a lot of it comes from their side, but I just don't have those connections.
But that was the only thing my mother would say about her mother. She never told me anything about her father. I had to find out from my cousin when my aunt died a few years back, and that was the last connection to my mother's side of the family about what was my grandmother like. And then I found out what she was like. And it was so sad because my mother would never talk about her mother. which was very weird until about the time frame that when my mother died. Of course, she had dementia big time. So
Wow.
what she told me, whether it was true or not, I don't know, but I like to believe that it was.
Well, Joanne, it
And,
was really, I want to say it's a real pleasure that you called in and shared that tonight because, like I said, I've been searching for another green floating head person's experience.
Thank you.
So that's awesome.
I gotta say, I'm glad that I got an answer to a question that I've had for almost 60 years.
Oh, wow. What was the answer? What was the answer? Can you share?
The answer was yes. I
yes.
wanted to know if that, that's all I needed was a yes or a no.
Okay.
If that was him that I saw.
Okay.
It was that green floating head. And I want to thank you so very much.
Well, thank you, Joanne. You have a great night. And again, thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, you too. And I have many other experiences. And
you're going to keep calling in and sharing them.
Oh, yeah. If I happen to be able to be staying awake at this hour.
I know. All right.
Oh,
yes.
you bet.
Well, I look forward to future phone calls from you. You have a great night.
Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Peace, love, and light to you.
Yeah, peace, love, and light.
Yeah.
We need a lot of that right now. I saw John saying if you call in. Yeah, John, I will take your call. I will wait for that call because I would love to hear about that experience as well. But I got my green floating head. 6 years of doing this show. 6 years of doing this show. I've been waiting for somebody else to say they've seen a green floating head, and that is the first time. I've gotten floating head stories. I have. And Josh Turner that she mentioned, we would talk on the phone, and I said to him, I know you get a lot of emails and stories. Let me know if you get a floating head story. Josh Turner from Paranormal Roundtable. And he's like, yeah, I got a couple I'll share with you. I don't know if they're green, but there's about floating heads, and they were definitely interesting. And he was, looking up some stuff. But, yeah, that is awesome. I'm going to have to let Josh know. I don't know if he got her original message. He might not have. He's had issues with Facebook. You know how they are. But, yeah, John, if you're out there, you're still out there, buddy. I hope I didn't lose him. Let's see. So he had a comment there not long ago. What did he say? Guys, isn't Slimer from Ghostbusters kind of a floating head, kind of? Yeah, that's what I thought, John. That is exactly what I thought as a kid. That's why I was fascinated with Ghostbusters. When I was a little kid, I know I've told these stories. When I was a little kid, I was so fascinated with Ghostbusters. I just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. Loved it. When I was a kid, I was so fascinated with Ghostbusters. I wanted to be a Ghostbuster. And Slimer was like so close to the green glow of what I saw. I was just fascinated by it. Me and a friend made and I drew it out because I was a little artist back then. I drew out like the whole Ghostbusters symbol, and I put my mom's phone number on the poster, a little like poster I made, and made several. I drew them all out. I maybe like 6 of them, and we lived in this trailer park called Green Acres, and I went around and taped up these posters. But luckily I don't think my mom ever got a phone call, thankfully. But I remember one of the neighbors saw me doing it and was like, "What is this?" and ripping it down, and I'm like, I make my Ghostbusters poster. How am I going to bust ghosts if nobody can call me? Thank God nobody did, because my mom would have whipped my butt. My mom would have whipped my butt. Phone lines are still open. We'll stay on for a little bit longer. Like I said, John, if you want to call in, I'd love to hear your experience. I know it's a bit raw still. We've had a lot of shows lately on grieving and losing close loved ones. We had one last week with Karen Johnson. Was really good. And so totally had been a subject matter we've been covering a lot lately. So I understand how losing a twin brother like that would be really raw. And if you don't want to talk about it right now, I totally understand. Some other time. Yeah, go ahead and roll over Ghost Box some more. We'll probably be ending it soon because my sciatic nerve is not going to let me go much longer. I need to stop drinking this coffee, though, because eventually I get to sleep and get up in the morning. It's addicting. Oh, Rob, you're muted. Maybe on purpose.
I'm going to try another one here real quick.
Okay. But yeah, man, I've been waiting 6 years of doing this show for somebody else to say they've seen a green floating head. And she said it looked like her grandfather. One of the things I've always wondered about my green floating head, it was a female, and she was, like, tortured. Is all I can describe her and remind me of the Wicked Witch of the West. But I did lose a grandmother on my father's side she died of an overdose, and before I was born, and she's Cherokee Irish. She was half Cherokee, half Irish, I think. And so that's where I just the gut feeling that somehow it's connected to that heritage from my father's side. I've always felt. I don't know, because the house it happened in was my aunt's boyfriend's house. I don't think it was haunted. Spirits, can you tell me anything about the green floating head I saw or Joanne saw as children?
Which one is this one? One Anthony?
This is actually one of Matt's. It's the divination box.
Oh. I was thinking maybe it was like the angel box, but the reverse to the angel box of a Ghost Hunter app.
We'll be going soon, Spirits. You got any messages? I would be interested if Spirit World has anything to say. I saw a green floating head. I was 4 or 5 years old. What was it that I saw? What was the green floating head?
I wonder if it's an entity that still stays around you and you just don't know it.
It would scare me now if I saw it. I said I had always as a kid was a bit haunted by Wizard of Oz because the witch and the green face and all that kind of always reminded me of something that wasn't glowing. What I saw was completely purely green light, but as a face and glowing, flying through the room. And the sound.
The banshee squeal is creepy.
You know what reminds me of what I heard? It was a little bit like the Aztec death whistle. It was a scary sound. All I remember.
That's creepy, man.
But it started out as like a whimpering, crying at first. Yeah.
Almost like the La Llorona or...
Yeah. Spirits, can you tell me what the green floating head was that I saw as a kid? Lori, maybe go back to the app you had on.
Yeah, this one's getting quiet. I'll just try to.
Yeah, it is quiet. My favorite is I'm not try them all, people. My favorite out of is the Spiritus is awesome, but which one is it? The Necrophonic I think has been my favorite. Very simple. I just feel like the audio I've gotten best communication through. I don't know. That's the one that Heather Wade would always use when we do the ITC shows on there. But speaking of, Heather Wade's been back I should have said that to Al. I don't know if he's heard in South Korea. She's been broadcasting live on her website again, which is awesome.
Music, right?
No, she's talking. She's talking. She's kind of doing kind of a show. I mean, I'm hoping I talked to her a couple weeks ago, and we were trying to get a mixing board situation fixed.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's trying to come back, so I hope so.
Oh, good. I thought it was just music she was running.
No, she's talking. She's there. I'm usually in bed by the time she's doing it, but I hear about it later.
Okay, this is
weird.
This is angelic.
That's a weird sound.
This is when you don't get a whole lot of replies, but when you do get the replies, they're weird.
All right, angelic app here. Spirit's using it. Can you tell me what the green floating head was I saw as a kid? music makes me feel like I'm having a near-death experience. Again, can you tell me what the green floating head was? I'm focusing in on that. What was the green floating head, spirits? Can you tell me?
Can any of the spirits tell Jason what the green floating head meant? Or who it was?
Heard soul. Whose soul? Spirits, if that was somebody's soul that visited me that night when I was 4 or 5, the green floating head, whose soul was it?
I thought I almost heard like a potential EVP a second ago.
I heard grandmother just now. I don't know. Somebody heard grandma earlier. Christina did, but I just heard grandmother as I was reading that. On my which side of the family, mom or dad? Will I ever see the green floating head again? Yeah, this one's hard to make out.
Yeah. Go back to the spirit.
What?
I'll give about 5 more minutes, and then I'm probably going to call it a night because I'm dying here. Ugh. All right, spirits, one last try. We're still inquiring about the green floating head because I'm totally interested in that, thinking about that now after Joanne's great call. Fate. Family. Okay, was it from my family? I don't know if I want to see the green floating head again. Like I said, it's part of my childhood nightmare. But then again, I have a cell phone now. I can totally take a camera.
There you go.
Right. I've always feared my children would end up seeing it, but so far, nothing. Thank God.
Get him.
Get him.
Get him. No, don't.
What was the green floating head that Jason saw? Can any of the spirits tell us? Give us a clue.
Sit down. Really well. You're doing really. Go ahead and breathe. Like I said. And when? I'm gonna.
Was the green floating head, did it come for me or did it come for my cousin Philip? All right, spirits, we're going to be calling it a night here. Any last messages?
No.
Somebody heard German? Yeah, I got a lot of German. I'm German, Irish, Cherokee. German's on my mother's side.
No. What? What?
I got the flicker. Sure.
Anything like.
Cute. And with that, we will end it. All right, spirits, saying goodbye.
No, just.
Say goodbye, spirits.
Turn it off in 5, 4, 3.
They counted with it. They said 5.
Yeah. I thought I heard goodbye, too. All right, guys, that is it for the show. I know we didn't go the full 3 hours tonight, but like I said, I have a sciatic nerve that's killing me right now, and we didn't have a guest, so some nights when I do ITC, we did keep it to 2 or 2.5 hours. It's a lot for me to review. It's going to take a few weeks to get through or more, and I will be on vacation in a couple weeks, just so you know. We got 2 more shows, I think, before I leave for Florida, and then we'll be gone for 2 weeks. I know, so sorry. But I have been trying to go on a family vacation with my family. We were going to go 2 years ago, and you know what happened. We were supposed to go down to Florida, and then COVID ruined everything. So we haven't had an actual full family vacation yet at all with my 2 boys. One's 10, one's 6. And we've not ever really gone anywhere for a length of time on a vacation. That was going to be our first trip, and it got canceled. So we're determined to go down to Florida, taking a couple weeks off from the show because I can't do that down there. I have to have all this equipment. I'm not bringing that with me to Florida. Sorry, guys. But hopefully I'll get to see Rob in St. Augustine. I'm hoping I get to meet him finally, in person. Let's hope. I hope I get to arrange that.
If you do make it here, your kids will love the alligator farms and say, dinosaurs and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, they love that stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They say, hey, let's go see the alligator farm. Yeah, that'll get them going. All right, guys. But that is it for the show. We're calling it a night. We will be back next Sunday with returning guest Wajid Hassan. He's you remember he was on before. We've had him on before, and we'll have new stuff to talk about. But he's the author of, and I think this is perfect timing for him to come on, The Struggle for World Sanity. You remember Wajid? Yeah, we need some world sanity right now, right? So I think it's a good time to have him back on. This guy has got so much to talk about. He's a Paranormal Soup guest for sure, because we go down a lot of different rabbit holes with Wajid. Next week, same bad time, same channel, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central, 11 p.m. 2 a.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m. 11 p.m. Pacific time. See you guys next week. Thanks to everybody who shares out the show. Thank you to everybody who subscribes. And thanks to everyone who donates on Patreon. The $2 a month. There's $5 a month, $10 a month you can do. It helps pay the bills for this show. All right, guys. Have a great night. See you next Sunday.